Welcome to the Deluise book series. I'm Christina Carras, Tina. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music. And this is Flashback Monday, December 2017. And you would think that December would be a huge publishing month. And it doesn't seem to be. I looked. It might get better in 2018. I'll have to check. One of my resourceful sites, I couldn't figure it out I don't know what was wrong with it, but anyway, we've got a small list for December 2017. January list is ginormous. I'm gonna have to smush it down. November we had, 300 books, and I squished it and squished it and squished it, and I ended up with like 12 or something for November. So, anyways, if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. We are doing December 2017 new releases, and if anybody has any ideas for future Flashback Mondays, please leave the idea in the comments. The past is meeting the present. Once we catch up with 2024 that I started these new releases on Fridays. Once we catch up, I'm going to need some ideas. We may go backwards again. We'll see what happens. I do have the middle of 2007 through July of 2016 of RT Book Review Magazine. I may do something with those again. They are just endless sources of information. But if you could please let me know, get any ideas, I'd appreciate it. Our first book for 2017 is Helen Hart, Twisted. Ryan Steele, his world recently upended by an earth-shattering secret, now faces yet another potential revelation surrounding the Steele family mystery. He no longer fully trusts his siblings or the woman he loves. Alone, and terrified, immersed in a conundrum that becomes more twisted each day. Ruby Lee loves Ryan and desperately wants to help him. She'll do whatever she must to see him through this troubling time, but her own past still haunts her. She's determined to put an end to both mysteries once and for all, but once she uncovers the danger, she may lose Ryan forever. Oh, good God, no. Game of Thrones fans, we have George R.R. Martin in Mississippi Roll. This book is hard to find. It's supposed to be on the shelf, but everybody keeps saying it's on the shelf, and you go to the shelf, and it's not on the shelf. Now, on its final voyage, the historical steamboat Natchez is known for her superpowered guest entertainers. But after the suspicious death of a crew member, retired New York police detective Leo Strauman decides to make his incident his personal case. His findings only lead to a growing number of questions. Is there truth behind the ghostly sightings of the steamboat's first captain, Wilbur Leathers? What secret does the current captain hiding? And could the Natchez be very mysterious and possibly dangerous cargo? Don't know. On the lighter side of town, Miss Maxwell, A Devious Death. Phoebe and her sister Julia are eager for a summer getaway at High Head Lodge, the newly purchased estate of their cousin Regina. But they are not the only house guests. Regina's odd friend Olive is far from friendly. And Regina's mother and brother are bitter over the unequal distribution of their father's inheritance. Have descended on the house to confront Regina. In addition to the family tension, Eva is increasingly suspicious of Lady Julia's new maid. What's up with the maid? She questions Miss Stanley's loyalty and integrity, wondering why she left her former employer so suddenly, and why does Regina seem ill at ease around the maid as if they were previously acquainted. Is she working undercover? She got a mission? Is she a spy? When You Love a Scotsman, 7 Brides, 7 Scotsmen. It reminds me of, I used to have them, and I'm really, really sorry I give them up. Jane Feather also did a 7 Brides, 7 Grooms thing. Hannah Howell, When You Love a Scotsman. With danger closing in from all sides, Abigail Jensen works tirelessly to protect her small Missouri farm. She doesn't require saving, but a handsome officer appears on horseback just as a ruthless marauder set her cabin ablaze. With nowhere else to turn, she allows the seductive Highlander to escort her to a shelter, keep her company, comfort her. Matthew McGuire was reluctant to join his adopted nation's conflict until an enemy attack wounded two of his brothers. Bravely doing battle has its price when a proud, independent beauty comes under his watch. No military man can risk the powerful emotions that attraction unleashes. Well, we shall see. Kristen Higgins. Now that you mention it, one step forward, two steps back. That sounds like my channel. Let's say I get a burst of 15 subscribers. And I'm like, yay! And I'm only, yay! Because I know it's going to happen. 20 will unsub. Then I'll get 5, then I'll get 1, then I'll gain 1, then I'll lose 1, then I'll gain 1. And at about 3 or 4 months later, I will be back at that 15 level. So one step forward, two steps back. The turf scholarships that put Nora Stewart on the path to becoming a Boston medical specialist was a step forward. Being hit by a car, then her overbearing boyfriend hit another doctor when she thought she was dying is 2 steps back. Injured in more ways than one, Nora feels her carefully built life cracking on the edges. There's only one place to land, home. But the tiny May community she left 15 years ago doesn't necessarily want her back. At every turn, someone hopes the prodigal daughter of Supers Island responsible for small-town drama and big-time disappointments. Well, that's tough. That's tough. With a tough islander mother who's always been distant, a wild child sister in jail, and a withdrawn teenage niece as eager to ditch the island as Nora was, Nora has her work cut out for her. Wish her luck. This lady, if you haven't seen my review for this lady, I have to Chrissy, put the picture up. I did this, it'll be coming up soon. 28 days in February, 28 romance novels. I did this book, Paradise Problems, and it intrigued me so much I actually had to read the whole entire book, and I did, because I was thinking maybe it would go the way of Emma Henry, right? Book Lovers or something like that. If there had been a missing manuscript, if they had been searching for something, if there had been a missing person, it doesn't have to be murder, but if there was just a puzzle to solve or a little treasure map to solve or something extra, it would have been a better book because it was well written. But after 11 chapters, I was like, eh. So you can watch my video, me explaining why. After 11 chapters, it was, eh. But Paradise Problems, on the other hand, it was not only the two potential lovers or future husband-wife situation, they also had several obstacles, several problems to solve. And that's what made it intriguing. So, what's this? So, I looked for this and I couldn't find it. Maybe I'll check it out too. We'll see. This is Christian Lauren Roomies. For months, Holland Baker has invented excuses to descend into the subway station near her apartment, drawn to captivating music by her street musician crush. Lacking the nerve to actually talk to the gorgeous stranger, fate steps in one night in the form of a drunken attacker. Calvin McLaughlin rescues her but quickly disappears when the police start asking questions. Using the only resources she has to pay the brilliant musician back, Holland gets Calvin an audition with her uncle, Broadway's hottest musical director. When the triad goes better than Holland could ever imagine, Calvin is set for a great entry into Broadway, until his reason for disappearing becomes clear. He's in the country illegally. His student visa has expired. Oh, good God. If that happened today, she could not write this book today. She could not write this book today. What's going on today? We won't talk about that. Seeing that her uncle needs Calvin as much as Calvin needs him, a wild idea takes over impulsively. She marries him to keep him in the country. Aw. The Duke knows best. Is that supposed to be father's knows best, but it's a Duke before he has children? Jane Ashford. Lord Randolph Grisham has come to London for one reason only, to find a suitable wife. Verity Sinclair may be intelligent, beautiful, and full of spirit, but her father knows a secret about Randolph that makes her entirely unsuitable as his bride. Not for him at all, never, not a chance. Verity knows that Lord Randolph lives in a country parish, and she wants nothing more than to escape to town. He may be fascinating, attractive, rich, and the son of the Duke, but she'll never marry him. You're right. Now, this one. So, imagine my surprise when this is not only my author, one of my big authors that I enjoy, that I had book 1, I had book 2, but I'm missing book 3. So I will be ordering book 3. But we will start just quickly. These are 2016. One is January, one is December. This is book 1 and 2 of the series, the Outcast series, Carrie Arthur. When the bombs that stopped the species war tore holes in the veil between this world and the next. Wait a minute. Let me just double check. Yes. Okay. When the bombs that stopped the species war tore holes in the veil between this world and the next, they allowed entry to the others, demons, wraiths, and spirits who turned the shadows into their hunting grounds. Now, 100 years later, humans and shifters alike live in artificially lit cities designed to keep the darkness at bay. As a Dichatse, a breed of humanoid super soldiers almost eradicated by the war, Tiger has spent her life in hiding, but when she risked her life to save a little girl on the outskirts of Central City, she discovers that the child is one of many abducted in broad daylight by a wrath-like being, an impossibility that dangerous implications for everyone on Earth. Okay. Book 2. The humanoid super soldier known as the Detaché were almost eradicated by the war. Ever since, Tiger has tried to live a life peacefully in hiding. But in the wake of a discovery that Central City's children are being kidnapped and experimented on, Tiger's conscience won't let her look away. The key to saving the children lies within the walls of the pharmaceutical company called Winter Halo. But as she learns more about the facility, Tiger's mission is derailed by a complication. Winter Halo's female security guards are being systematically attacked by an unknown force. And book 3, which is our 2017 book, The Black Tide. Detached super soldier Tiger races against time to save humanity from darkness and total annihilation. The Winter Halo, the pharmaceutical company behind the evil experimentation on children and adults, has been destroyed. The danger is far from over. Not only do 7 children remain unaccounted for, but some of the vampires are now able to walk in the light. The key to stopping the unthinkable lies in finding Clara Dean, the last member of the trio behind the plot to give full light immunity to both the vampires and the others. But Sierra, like Tiger herself, is a shapeshifter, able to take on any human form she desires. To find her, Tiger will need to use every skill in her formidable arsenal, and even that might not be enough to save the city and the people she has started to care about, because vampires are coming, and this time the lights won't stop them. Cynthia Eden, Into the Night. Sheltered in the shadow of the Smoky Mountains is the suspect who summoned FBI Marcy Knight's fears to the surface. Every day that profile a vigilante serial killer escapes justice is another day. She's reminded of what is to be a ruthless predator's prey. Capturing him is a craving deeper than anything she's felt in a long time. But Agent Bowen Murphy, equal parts sexy and violent, seems hell-bent on changing that. Working together, needing, living, and breathing each other, they are entwined to distraction. Interesting. My lady, she's over there. That's her over there. Those are all hers. Candace can't. Finger go that way. There you go. That way. A momentary marriage. Raised by a cold, bitter father and certain that feelings because nothing but harm, James DeVere holds his emotions ruthlessly in check. But now, as he faces death, he must turn for help to Laura Hinsdale, a woman he hurt many years ago, and her brilliant physician father. On learning that the good doctor has died and Laura facing a life of penury, James makes her an offer of marriage. She will inherit his estate and he will thwart his grasping relatives. No emotional attachments need sully their union. Ah, but they do fall in love. Amelia Gray to the Duke with love. To the Duke with love. If you haven't seen Sidney Poitier into Sir with Love, you need to watch it, or at least the song. Anyway, it's a great song. But the movie's good too. I think he won an Oscar. He won something. I know he did, and it was a breakthrough thing. Sloane Knox, the Duke of Hawkstone, is guardian for his sweet younger sister. Due to the misguided past as one of the infamous rakes of St. James, Hawk is hoping to avoid the season by procuring a match for her before it begins. He has the perfect gentleman in mind, but for one infuriating and unexpectedly intoxicating obstacle, the groom's intended own sister, Miss Loretta Quick. Having now avoided her arranged marriage to an unacceptable nobleman, Loretta is determined that her dear brother, a gentle, good-natured soul, should marry for love. Oh! So she's gonna marry him, and his sister's gonna marry her brother. So it'll be a quad marriage. I see that coming. Ah, I gotta add this to my series. We did a whole slew of Christmases a while ago. There's a couple of Christmases coming up. I did not know that this lady had Christmases. We need to do Christmases. Mistletoe Murder, Karen McKinney. It's almost Christmas time, and former Lucy Resnick is living the life she's always dreamed of, but she's not selling her jam soaps and mistletoe bundles of Buttercup Christmas market. She's enjoying cozy evenings by the fire with her knitting group or her handsome veterinarian boyfriend, Tobias Brand. But less than a week before Christmas, a pall falls over the festive atmosphere when local Brandy Stone turns up with a knife in his back and a sprig of mistletoe in his hair. Local Sheriff Rooster Couric, never the brightest bulb on the string, is convinced it's open and a shut case, murder by jealous wife, but Lucy suspects otherwise. Can she solve the case? Earlier this year, we had 8 chances of snow. 8 significant chances of snow. Serious chances for snow. And 8 times in a row, we got rain. And people north of us, all 8 times, they got snow. We got rain. Always got rain. We even closed schools because they said it was going to snow, but it didn't. It didn't. All 8 times it rained. Seriously. I'm over them crying wolf. It's summer now. We're almost summer now. 2 years ago, Olivia Martindale left behind her Montana home and her husband Jace, certain it was the best decision for both of them. Back to temporarily to protect her almost adopted daughters from their biological mother. She discovers an old handwritten cookbook in the attic. Its pages are stained and torn, their edges scorched by flame. Some have been smeared by water or tears. The recipes are written in different hands and in different languages. In between the pages are intriguing mementos, including a feather, a pressed rose, and a charm, and an unfamiliar photograph. Hoping the recipes will offer a window into her grandmother's closely guarded past, Olivia decides to make each dish along with their favorite family cake recipes, and the records attempts the result. Like much of her life to date, involves a parade of near disasters, chaotic disappearances by her doctor mother, her blunt grandma, her short-tempered sister, and Olivia's two hilarious daughters. The project is messy, real, and an unintended hit with reviewers. when I think of Rachel Kane, I think of the Weathers. She had a weather. Do they even list it in here? I don't think so. Let's see. She has a series that she wrote many, many years ago. It was her opening series. The Weather Warden. 2, 4, 6, 8. There were 9 books in that series. And she's also known for the Morganville Vampires. I have those too. But I don't know why, but when I think of her, the weather comes to mind first, the vampires second. I don't know why, but that's just and she wrote more vampire books than the weather person. But anyways, uh Gwen Proctor won the battle to save her kids from her ex-husband, serial killer Melvin Royal, and his league of psychotic accomplices. But the war isn't over, not since Melvin broke out of prison. Oops. Her refuge at Steelhouse Lake has become a trap. Gwen leaves her children in the protective custody of a fortified, well-armed neighbor. Now, with the help of Sam Cade, brother of one of Melvin's victims, Gwen is going hunting. She learned how to from one of the sickest killers alive. Ah! Could you let the police handle it? Enchantress of Numbers. When I think of Jennifer Chavin, I think of knitting. If you haven't seen our Cozy Mysteries Knitting Edition, check it out. I went on a Cozy Mystery binge last year. Cozy Mystery Cooking, Cozy Mystery Knitting, Cozy Mystery by Biking, Cozy Mystery Cooking, Cozy Mystery Bookshop, Cozy Mystery Library. And speaking of that, I found a new one. I found a whole bunch of new ones for the library, bookshop, whatever. The only legitimate child of Lord Byron, the most brilliant, revered, and scandalous of romantic poets, Ada was destined for fame from the moment she was born, but her mathematician mother, estranged from Ada's famous and destructively passionate father, is determined to save her only child from a perilous Byron heritage. Banishing fairy tales and make-believe from the nursery, Ada's mother provides her daughter with a rigorous education grounded in mathematics and science. Amy, troubling spark of imagination, or worse yet, passion of poetry, is promptly extinguished, or so her mother believes. When Ada is introduced into London society as a highly eligible young heiress, she at last discovers the intellectual and social circle she has longed for. Little does she realize how exciting her new friendship with Charles Babbage, the brilliant, charming, and occasionally curmudgeonly inventor of extraordinary machine, the difference engine, will define her destiny. And our final book, this lady is also over there. ABC. She's gonna be lower. No, wait a minute. She's over here. There she is. She's the whole shelf over there. Yep. Miss Maxwell. If ever I should love you. He's inherited a title, but not a penny to speak of, so the Earl of Rochdale knows he must find a wife, preferably one tolerably pretty and good-tempered, but definitely wealthy, and willing to exchange her fortune for his family name. His choice is Leonie Charnock, one of the seasoned spinster heiresses. Year before, the Earl had saved the dark-eyed beauty's reputation, and she is still breathtaking lovely, leading Rochdale to the hope that the marriage will be more in name only. However, Leonie doesn't want to be anyone's wife. Nearly destroyed by the secrets of her past, Leonie agrees to the union with one condition. A marriage of convenience, a marriage in name only, and of course we do end up falling in love. So there you go. There's... Ow, I can't reach. They're up there. All my Maxwells. So that is December 2017. Small list. I'm going to start working on January 2018. We'll try to narrow it down to a small list. There's so many. And if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. If you could also check out If Then Fridays. If you like this author, you might like that author. Star Trek Next Generation recaps on Friday. I really need to go back and redo a couple of those Star Trek Next Generations. A couple of my favorite episodes got killed by audio. I don't know what the deal was. And JD Robb, Eve Dallas, Saturdays. We're spoiling characters. In Death, Deluise book series. All my reviews will come up, and all the character spoilerizations will come up. Unboxing Sunday. We've had an interesting one recently. So check those out. Flashback Mondays, of course. And my daily book reviews. Have a good one.